What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2019. Just give it a couple seconds here. Let people join if they want to join up. But what a awesome active day today it is in the market. I'd say out of the whole week, today, Thursday, is the most active day we've seen all week. And this is the patience that you wait for as a trader. You literally wait for the market to give you opportunities. And there was so many opportunities today. So much stuff going on today. We've had 5 new IPOs drop today. Earnings season is still in effect. The list of companies putting out earnings is very, very long. The overall market's red. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot. First up, I got a list down in the description of the 5 IPOs that dropped today. 2 of the main IPOs that dropped today was Pinterest and Zoom. Right now we're looking at Zoom right here. Zoom, this was a crazy one. This one got priced at $35 and this opened up at $65. It's just, these like car companies are just so overhyped and you can ride this momentum out. But real quick, I want to jump into the overall market real quick to get that out of the way. So we got the VIX up here still down up to 12. It's red on the day. The SPY, which is right here, had just a slight little gap up. But right as the market opened, again, the same thing like we've been seeing all week. We got a sell-off and then just a rebound back up. And it's been like that every day this week. This is Thursday, this is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. You could see morning sell-off, end of the day, run back up. Tuesday, sold off all day. Wednesday, big morning sell-off after that big gap up. And then today, another morning sell-off with a nice bounce. Same thing with the Qs. And the Dow Jones just had a quick morning spike and then it gave it all right back. Just choppiness right now for the Dow Jones. You always want to keep an eye on the overall market. If I can move this. Alright, so here's the earnings calendar right here. And here's the list of all the companies putting out earnings today. As you could see, compared to Monday, when we've only had like 4 companies putting out earnings, now we got like 50 companies putting out earnings today. Either before the market opened, during the market opened, or after the market opened. Or after hours, I'm sorry. The list is just going to get longer and longer and longer. But I really didn't get a chance to go through what companies are putting out earnings today. After I make this video, I'm just going to go through and look to see what companies are putting out. Today is the last trading day of the week. Tomorrow, Friday, is Good Friday. The market will be closed and the market will reopen back up on Monday. So you're going to get a nice long weekend. Make sure you study up. Spend time with the family. If you celebrate Easter, enjoy the time with the family. But make sure you get some studying in and prepare for the upcoming week. Because next week is going to be a wild one. Next up, I want to go over the IPOs that dropped today. I got them listed down in the description down below as well. We've had Hook open today, Birmingham Minerals open today, Green Lane Holdings open today. These three I know nothing about. The only two I know about is Pinterest and Zoom. So let's check those out. This is Zoom right here. So like I said, Zoom got priced at $35 and it opened up today at $65. You could see it right here. Right when this opened at 65, we get a quick shot up to 66, and then she falls all the way down to 63 and makes a low at $60. So it makes a low right there, and then she pops right up to this resistance of 64. This is where she's finding resistance at. So a nice $4 range on this stock. And then when she pulls back to 62. And then from 62, she starts getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And she's still forming this ascending wedge. You could put a big, big trend line on this. From all the way back here. You got your top resistance line right here. And here's your big trend line going up. Slowly but surely making higher lows. So she is looking for a potential pop. You can see it on the 5-minute as she's getting tighter and tighter as well. Even on the 10-minute. Alright, next up we got Pinterest. And look at Pinterest right here. Pinterest opened today just under $24. Got a quick morning spike up to a high of $24.70. She made a low at $23. And it's double topped right now just below $25. So 25 is the high so far. We'll draw a support line. She's finding support at around this $24 area. So pretty much a dollar range on it. It's doing, what's that? Zoom is doing a lot better than what Lyft did on its first IPO day. And Pinterest is doing alright. Pinterest has got a lot of volume on its first day. 54 million in volume so far today. Alright, so we got MBIO next. So look at this thing. This is, it had news this morning. Let's see. So the bubble boy disease therapy data lifts. This thing gapped up from $2.73 all the way up to a high of $15. This had everybody's attention this morning. From 15, it pulled back down to around 7, bounced back up to 12, pulled back down to 7, and then shot up to 10. And right when the market opened, you got a really fast spike from 8 up to 10, and then she just sold off really, really hard. So a lot of shorts banked on this. You could see when it had this big, big sell-off right here, that's what I call pretty much a morning panic. and trying to catch a knife on something like that for a bounce, you could really, really destroy your account. That's why you just want to have patience, because if you zoom in on this, you could see it tried to bounce right here, and it failed to bounce, and it continued to sell down, and then it tried to bounce right here at the 775 area, and it failed again, and it fell all the way down to 675, failed again, and it just kept making lower lows and lower highs. It was able to get a good bounce right here at 650, but that's it's really got no significance to bounce there at 650. It's above all the moving averages. So from 650 right there, it got a good bounce up to $7. So a nice 50-cent bounce on the long side. But then after that bounce, it just dropped and made another new low down to $6. And then it bounced back up to $6.82. This is just a disaster if you're long on this. But you could draw a trend line on this. You could just see it just kept making lower lows as it went on. Then it finally bottomed here at 564, and now it's just fizzling out. Volume on the day on MBIO is 27 million. Excuse me. 27 million in volume on MBIO. Next up is UXIN. So yesterday we were looking at UXIN, and this was finding resistance just under $3. You could see it squeezed up after it had like 8 straight days of selling. It finally got a gap up, and it shot up from 225 up to 250, and then shot up just below $3, and then it just hung around this $3 the rest of the day. And then today, it got a gap down to 270, and then again, right at the market open, shoots right back up, blows through $3, and made a high up here at 325. And then when she pulled back, she pulls back to 310. And you could form a descending wedge on this. Got tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And then from 310, we get a nice spike up to 330. Nice consolidation right here as it got tighter and tighter. And then it shoots up to 337. Next up, let's talk about Tiger. So as you can see from the previous day, this has just been an insane stock period. Going from gapping up on the daily. But this thing topped out here at almost $24. And then yesterday, look at this big sell-off from $23 all the way down to $16. Wow. Big sell-off on this. Let me see something. They came out with the Form 6K 2 days ago. But look at this today it opens at 1662, sells all the way down to 15, but it formed just this big ascending wedge right here. And you can see it broke out of this wedge right here. And from 1662 it ran up to 17 and then just a 6 sell off down. This is just an ugly looking stock now. This would be something more to trade like on a bigger time frame. Yeah. Like it's hard to trade something like this on a 1 minute because the volume is really not that strong in it right now. So I'd move up to either the 10 or 15 minute and put it together that way. Maybe even the 5 minute. Yeah, you can see here on the 5 minute today, slap on a couple trend lines on that bad boy. Seeing how it made a tight wedge right here at the 16, and then it pops up to 16.50 and up to $17. And then when it pulls back, it pulled right back to this bottom trend line right here. BOXL, another one on the list. Yesterday, it just grinded up all day from 336 all the way up to $4. And today, it's looking to just do a continuation from $4 all the way up to $4.50. Hook, this is the IPO that just opened today. It just looks like a dud. It's only got 1.3 million volume on the day. Let's see the range on this bad boy. Opens up here at 1430, shoots up to 1477, and now it's just sitting here at 1375. NIO getting a nice shot up today from 445 just below $5. Look at the daily on this. This was a good chart like a month ago. As you can see, this is a newer IPO as well. If you don't know what NIO is located in China. It's pretty much the Chinese Tesla. They're just doing whatever Tesla does. And you could compare NIO to Tesla's chart. But right when it opened, way back here in, when is that? September 12th of 2018. It opened at $6 and shot all the way up to almost $14. And then it sold down, and then it was in this range for a few months from $6 up to $8.40. And then recently it finally broke above this range and made a high right here just below $11. But then after that, it just sold off very, very hard. Look at that. Going from 11 all the way down to 450. And after this 6-6 sell-off right here, look at that. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pretty much just 2 weeks of selling, 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 selling. We're finally getting a bounce right here. And it's not even really a great bounce. It's just a little 50-cent bounce. You got VIOT. This is just something I wanted to point out about pattern recognition. This is the daily chart for VIOT. And all you had to do We'll slap a couple trend lines on this. Look at that beautiful wedge right there. And it breaks out from this wedge at this 1150 level. And this thing runs all the way up from 1150 up to around 1550. Come on. That's a great chart pattern breakout right there. Beautiful chart pattern breakout. And look at the volume on these days. The first day was 48,000. The second day, 43,000. The third day, 1.1 million. The fourth day, 376,000. And then today, just over 250,000 in volume. And look at look at the intraday on it. You could see on the intraday there's really no volume in it, going in on this, but it just goes to show you how many people kept tabs on this. And you just have to every weekend just go through charts and charts and charts and charts and just look for patterns. And I just pointed out the volume, and it's not really that much volume in on this stock, but enough to make it move. That's the smart money right there. GNLN is the next IPO that opened today. Look at this flush. It opened just below $30, flushes all the way down to $22. Got a bounce up to 25, and it's just fading out. I'm pretty sure I talked about just about everything. I think JMIA was the last one. I just didn't add it to my list. Yeah, look at JMIA here. This is the one that went from $18 all the way up to $52. And look what it's done the past 2 days. Look at it bottoming here, right here at 36.42. Draw a support line. Or 36.50. And then it kept topping right here at $40. 40.50. So from 36.50 up to 40.50, that's a $4 range on this stock. 100 shares, that's $400. And then you could see right when this opened, it fell down to that support. Look at, you got a real fast bounce off that support, and then it just cracked right through it and fell right down. And then it couldn't even bounce up to test this as a resistance line. Fell back down, and it's just fizzling out. Let this continue to sell off. You gotta think, it just ran up. What, 1, 2, the first 3 days, this thing just accumulated, buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. You're gonna want people that are gonna want to take their profit. So you get this big sell-off and a big sell-off right here. Let the selling subside. Let this thing set back up. And maybe we'll get a good bounce on it. So, AMRS was another one I wanted to go over. Just great, great chart patterns. Look at this. 2 of them. Slap on it. Just slap these trend lines on it and trade off your trend line. That's all you got to do. Right here this morning, from 4:30 up to 4:50, ascending wedge. Breaks out of the ascending wedge. Pulls back. You see how it tests that old resistance? And then off we go. Pull back, shoots up, pull back, shoots up, all the way to 513. Then it forms another wedge right here. Now it's breaking out of the wedge. This is patience paying off at its best right here. Look at that. Switch over to the 2-minute. As the day goes on and we get deeper into the day, try not to just look at 1-minute charts. Move up. Move up either to a 2-minute or a 3-minute. A lot of people move up to 5 minutes. But I like looking at 3 minutes. It just, you could better visualize what's happening. See again. Drawing trend lines. See how you could see the picture much more clearly? But from the past couple days, it looks like this thing was just accumulating and accumulating. You see how it shoots up from 340 up just below $4, and it was just hanging around this $4 area right here. And then the next day, it gets a quick spike over $4 to 425, and then same thing. It's just hanging around in this area. That's accumulation. The stock is just accumulating, buying and buying and buying. Look at these large volume spikes. That's accumulating buying right there. And then today we get our big squeeze. It makes its move on up. From 2 days ago when this was at 350, now this is shooting up over $5. This game is all about patience. Patience, observing, and having discipline to wait and look for your setups. First, you got to identify your setups and what you like to play. Develop a trading strategy based around your personality. And just be your own boss. Be your own trader. Develop your own playbook. A lot of people were also talking about FBIO. But you can clearly see it just had a gap up to the 300-day moving average here. And she's just selling off. Look at that. Just ugly. Look at all that selling. But other than that, I think that's just about it for the day. Let me check Discord here. Let me check Riot real quick. Riot, we were just talking about it breaking out of that pattern. She ran up to 550. Look at that. Ascending wedge pattern right here. You could, if you clearly follow me, you know that I love ascending wedges or descending wedges. I always look for those types of patterns. And Riot, we got a great pattern breakout right here. 2 times you could have capitalized on this. It finally broke out of the pattern here at 5. She runs up to 543. Let it pull back. Look at where it bounces off of. The old trend line resistance line. And then from 5, it bounces to 515. Pulls back. It did breach the resistance or new support, but then quickly reclaimed it, and from 5 it's moving on up to 525. You know, these, you got to think of these trend lines and resistance lines and support lines. They're not metal lines. They're going to act as like a trampoline. The stock could either blow through it, or it'll have like a elastic bend to it, like a trampoline, and pierce it and pierce it and then snap back up. But Riot is involved with the cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin has just been heating back up lately, reclaiming 5,000. And let's see it real quick. Yeah, Bitcoin's at 5,200. This even formed up a pattern on it. But it finally broke over that 5,000 mark, ran up to 5,250. And then look at it, it's pulling back, and that 5,000 mark is acting as support. So it's currently consolidating at this level from 5,000 to 5,250. You got to think, whenever these stocks break out and they consolidate, it's just like a runner in a marathon. They're going to get tired after a big run like that, and they're going to want to rest before its next big move. I'd say the next big resistance line on Bitcoin is that 5,500 mark. And then after that, 6,000. We'll see what happens. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Remember, the market is closed tomorrow for Good Friday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Easter if you celebrate it. Make sure you get in some studying and prepare for the upcoming week. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day. And it's the year of the IPOs. And we just had 5 new IPOs drop today. 2 of the big ones is Zoom and Pinterest. They're both green on the day. Actually, Zoom's red on the day. I'm sorry. But that's going to be it for this, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join the Trading Learning 101 community. And until next time, guys, have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. All right, everyone. Later.